Hey guys, Carlos here. This is a little bit of a preamble. Some of the steps were a little bit shortened. There's a little bit of a jumpiness to it. There was many parts where I was not filming the head getting painted. There was a lot of pictures of just my finger moving. So I eliminated those to kind of spare everybody that. I still believe that there's some value to the video. I do talk about colors, I do talk about mixing and where to apply them, so I do hope that you can stick with it. Thanks for watching. Hey guys, welcome back. It's Carlos from Scarlet and Sable. Today I'm going to be painting the face for the Blood Angel. I'm going to be using a technique that I saw on Facebook and Pinterest. It's just more of a color region, color theory type thing. So let me get the face that I painted. The face that I painted using this method was Reboot Gillyman, and you can see he's definitely got some different colors on his face than the usual all over flesh tone. And I just wanted to do something a little different and try to go for something maybe a little bit more true to life, maybe? I don't know. I think it looks okay, so we'll see how it goes. The colors on the palette are pure white, titanium pure white, heavy body, sunny skin tone from Vallejo, dark Prussia blue from Vallejo, Cadian Flesh tone from GW. Here are the other two I mentioned. Sunny skin tone and dark Prussia blue. Vallejo Game Color Green Ink and Ferrari Red. The base color is going to be a mixture of green ink and Cadian Flesh tone. This technique I mentioned before, but I read it on Jacob Rune Nielsen's blog. He was a heavy metal painter back in the day. He still does painting, but I don't know what he's involved in now, but he's got really kind of good tutorials. I think that most people would consider them a bit older now, maybe out of fashion, but I believe that a lot of the principles that he uses in at least his skin tone tutorial I've tried, and I've found them to be pretty useful. So first things first, we'll start with the head. And again, I'm going to get just a small bit of green ink and mix it with Cadian Flesh tone until it's kind of a grayish color. And you can see there that mold line, that was from the Mission Models paint. And, well, the mold line wasn't, but I scratched it away, and the Mission Models paint is excellent because it lays down real flat, very thin, and it doesn't leave like a seam or kind of those raised edges when you go back and fix something, because I seem to be unable to get anything ready without at least leaving a few mold lines, and I've done this a lot, nearly on every head. Unfortunately, I think you'd think I'd learn, but anyways, I've had a lot of heads where I've had to go back and kind of scrape away a mold line or two. One that was like completely painted, it was on the Death Watch Master. That was unfortunate. But after, when I was using Stynol res, there's kind of, it goes down much thicker, so if you scrape it away, it comes up, it kind of peels, and there's like a heavy kind of raised line afterwards. And the Mission Models doesn't seem to share that characteristic, so it's pretty nice stuff. That base skin color, that comes from Jacob Rune Nielsen. I learned about it in his tutorial, and I definitely recommend that people who haven't read it go and check it out. It's pretty easy to follow, and it gives pretty good results. So that was formerly my go-to, maybe about 6 months ago. And really, I mean, I'm still using it. It's just this is a kind of a variation. All I'm doing is I'm adding colors in. His method is you do this base tone using, I think he says he starts with Elven Flesh, adds a little bit of green ink, and then he, let me adjust my position here. So he starts with Elven Flesh, adds green ink, and then he kind of highlights from there. Maybe highlights a couple times using pure white, and then he shades using or chestnut ink and violet ink, like a mixture of those two. And actually, if you mix, I don't have chestnut, I have burnt sienna, but it looks pretty close to me. And burnt sienna, when mixed with violet, kind of gives you that, it's like almost the exact same color as a Citadel wash or a Privateer press wash. It's like that same color. So first I'm getting this good coverage. It's probably really boring to watch somebody base coat a miniature, but can't think of an alternative. I did a voiceover for the first time, like all voiceover. And it's kind of weird because when you're in the moment, you know, a lot of things occur to you that don't after the fact, and vice versa. So like after the fact, you're like, oh man, I wish I would have brought that up. So it's good to kind of, I think that I didn't mind doing the voiceover, but I definitely believe that part of what is interesting about my channel so far for people is that they sort of, a lot of people have told me that they want to know what's going through my head while I'm painting. Usually nothing. But, you know, there is, I guess, no, more like more of understanding why what I'm doing, actually, I should say. So you see that, that seam line I scraped away, it laid down pretty flat. And underneath the paint, I can see that, yes, I can still see the seam line, but it's not, there's no ridge. There's no residual ridge, which used to happen when I used Stynylrez. Now, I did actually bust out the lacquer primer a couple times, but the winter is pretty much here. I'm in Alaska, so it's starting to get real cold. Not like sub-zero, but we're getting there. We're getting down into the 30s and 40s now. So there's not really, I can't open the garage door, and the lacquer is just like, it's so intense. And I feel like, I don't know, I always, like, I talked about it, I think, in a little bit in the video that I did before, but like, I always feel like I have to rush, you know, I'm like, oh God, I don't have adequate ventilation, I need to finish this as soon as I can. I have the garage door open. I remember while I was priming the Imperial Knight, I had the garage door open until like 11 o'clock at night. This is just a week or two ago. I mean, things can change quickly here. And so it was a week or two ago, and I had the garage door open until like 11 o'clock, and I was wearing a mask. I imagine like my neighbors might have thought I was like an amateur, you know, amateur chemist or something, and I was rushing back and forth between my model that I was priming, and then I realized, well, I mean, I had it all set up, and I was airing out the garage, and then I realized I'd missed a spot, so I had to get the airbrush all set up again, get everything back out, get all the thinners back out, and then just break it all down again. So it was like, it must have been, I don't know if it was that amusing to watch, but it was probably like, man, what is this maniac doing? So that was what I was doing. So hopefully my neighbors, when they watch the video, right, they'll understand. Okay, so we're just about there on the coverage. At the rear of the head, there's still some of the seams showing, but not a big deal. We will take care of business, and I believe that subsequent layers will help us mask that. And if there's a shade towards the back, that's no big deal. I'm also thinking about doing like a dark a dark skin tutorial soon, like a, you know, like a African American type skin thing on Pinterest, and there's like this great board. I think it's called Ideas for Flesh Tones, and people actually give you colors that they've used, you know, and if you know the names of colors, then you can kind of use that to your advantage. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to apply a glaze with my Ferrari Red kind of in the cheek areas and up to the temples. In the example I was using, I believe that's kind of how that went. So up to here, also along this kind of area here on the cheek. Oh, good, I'm still on. Around this area right here. And the actual cheeks themselves are going to be a bit more orange, but for now we can shade that up. Also around the bottom of the nose here, we're going to apply a little bit of our reddish tone. And down here. Yeah, I was looking at some of the sculpts. I was working on Gilliman's face yesterday, and I noticed there was like a slight bit of, it was kind of slightly asymmetrical. And I don't know if that's intentional or if the way I was holding it or whatever, but it looked like there's like just the slightest bit of asymmetry going on, which is interesting. A little bit of desaturation there. That side definitely looks redder than that side. Is that the light or is that actually, I don't know. Okay. So now I'm going to take a mix of my base tone, Cadian Flesh, a little bit of green ink, just a little bit. This is approximately the color, or you know where his forehead is. And I'm going to take a little bit of Sunny Skin tone. And we're going to start on the upper areas. It's a little watery, but that's fine. That's not a big deal. You hit those brows. I don't know where I'm at on painting brows. I have painted a couple brows on there, but they just came out real thick. They look like, you know, like, I don't know. Gonna have to think about that. Is it blue? No. Yellow? No, between, oh, purple. Purple is how we're going to desaturate that. So we might try that. We might try that on the, and I don't think I'll do that in the video. I'm thinking out loud right now. So now I'm going to actually go to just continue with that highlight. I want to define these areas. I want to be able to see them. So it's kind of something that's going to help guide me throughout this process, is I want to be able to see. And I just added a little white to my Sunny Skin tone base tone mix. As the face starts to emerge, we kind of know, you know, where things are, what we need to do. So I mean, I can see like prominent areas and areas that I want to keep I want to keep the details of. See now the wrinkles, I kind of lost the wrinkles here. Having trouble seeing them. Two of them right there. So I might need to touch up that wrinkle right there on the left. Anyhow, that looks good. Now, let's see, I need to hit the bottom of those eyes. So let's see, I forget what region that is. So let's take our base tone and a little bit of the Sunny Skin tone, and let's just kind of bring those guys out, just so we can see them. I think this brush might have just about had it for this kind of stuff. That nice good tip that they have when they come out, there's just like 3 or 4 hairs right on the tip. That's gone, so I'm having to get way more of the meaty part of the brush near the model than I like. So I might need to swap this guy out soon. Okay, almost there. Almost. Oh, I think I accidentally hit something. Darn it. And then nose. Hit that again. Kind of reaffirm that. And then one more pass over. Come on. Yeah. Catch the edge. Catch the edge. Nice. Nice. Okay. Whew. Sorry if that wasn't on camera, but it was necessary, like Matthew McConaughey says to the robot. Okay, base tone, getting a little more, but now we're going to go towards the bottom of the face, so we're going to need some of our dark Prussian blue, and this will just be a more grayish tone. And I'm kind of tweaking it as I'm speaking. I don't want it to be too gray. I need it to kind of still be skin light. Okay, so there we go. This should be good. It's just south of our original base tone as far as coolness. It's hard to see there, but it's, you know, here, I'll bring it over. See it right there? That's the new mix. That's going to be for the lower regions of the face. So I'm just going to take it down right here. Take it on down. Okay, and then we're going to hit the top of the lip. And we might need to add a little bit of white to this mix. Just kind of emphasize the part of that lip. I did that with Reboot and it seemed to work. Not really a part of that tutorial, just kind of like, you know, we're dealing with tiny little faces, so I had to make some adjustments in order to make that face kind of stand out a little bit for my taste. Hit the bottom right there. And actually, unfortunately, this guy's face a little bit is hidden by that chin strap. So that's sort of a bummer, but not the end of the world. And the lips are going to be pink, so we may need to kind of adjust that also. So now that color's starting to kind of complement the other one. The face is looking super rosy. I might have to adjust that one slightly as well. I'm just gonna, actually what I'm gonna do is I'm probably going to get my base tone, Cadian Flesh, tip of green, desaturate the green a little bit. Or I'm sorry, the green is to desaturate the base color. And then I'm gonna add in a little bit of the Ferrari Red, a little bit more of the base tone, until I get something that, it's kind of peachy, but not too peachy, kind of reddish, a little thin. So take my word for it. But I want to get in there while it's wet. Kind of correct this a little bit. Yeah, I'm probably gonna need to play with this a little bit. It's a little too rosy, so we'll keep working it. Eesh, it's on the end of that brush there. Okay. Catch a couple of those lines. Fill in that temple area. A lot of blood vessels there. A little bit of this guy up here. Down, yeah, okay. Nose. Nose. This side just doesn't seem that red to me. I don't know why. Okay, so we're looking at it, we're adjusting. Now, I'm gonna fill in let's do our cheek highlight. So our cheek highlight, Not going to be totally, it's not going to shift much from the reddish color, but it's going to definitely take on more of an orange tone. So in this case, I'm just going to grab Sunny Skin Tone. I'm going to mix it with that last color that I used along the side of the face and kind of go towards the front of the cheeks. And also this is going to be, well, I don't know if I'm going to use it on the nose, but this is for the cheeks right here. A little bit of Sunny Skin Tone. Okay. And then over here. See, now this is the asymmetry that I'm talking about. This guy's left cheek does not seem to be, there's that, maybe a little bit more white, or a little white. I haven't had any white as of yet. So add a little white into that mix, into our peach mix. And this might be a little too cherubic for you, a little bit too Campbell Soup Kid for you. So that's fine. You won't hurt my feelings. I'm just, it's kind of something, I saw a guy, he painted something on Facebook. And it was like, definitely like a flushed looking face, like the guy had been boozing all day on the, like it was a tank figure. So maybe the guy had been like hitting the sauce all day on a tank or something. But I was like, man, that's pretty cool. So there you have it. That's the story. I'm going to take, this is mostly just my rose color. I'm going to hit this inside of the mouth area. Or I'm sorry, the ridge right outside the mouth. And then with my base tone mixed with red, I'm going to get a whiter, kind of a whiter highlight. This color should kind of be similar to our rosier color, our reddish color, but it's got white in it. So I don't know if you can see it there. It's going to be for the nose. Just the tip right there. Maybe the nostrils too on the sides. And then this guy over here. And maybe a little bit of this ridge. Guess I'm whispering because I think it's going to help me hold my brush still. Yeah, the glaze over on this side got a little out of whack, that red glaze. Pretty much just been trying to correct that the whole time. And I will. I'm not afraid of that glaze. It's a little reddish, but I'm actually pretty happy with the way that side turned out. So I'm going to add a little bit more white to the upper brow area. And so now I'm going to take just a tiny bit of our base tone, Cadian Flesh Green Ink, more of the Sunny Skin Tone, so it's almost all Sunny Skin Tone, and then just white. Oh, good gracious. There we go. Okay. Okay. Get a couple wrinkles. And like I said, not gonna get too emotional about it. Maybe just get these underside of these eyes again a little. Oh darn, got a little bit inside the socket. Might have to go back and touch that up a little. Maybe one more highlight, let's try it. Why not? Oh, I'm just gonna do just small spots. Ooh, almost touched the nose there. Oh, oh no. Oh no. Okay, hold on. We can fix this. Oh darn. Okay. I'm just gonna have to wait for that to dry and go back. Not sure how that happened exactly. The problem with that is that if this little bulge right here is pure white and this is pure white, then there's no difference in their depth, and it's going to be hard to kind of differentiate those on the face. Grabbing some of the red mix and some of the Sunny Skin tone mix, and then I'm going to kind of just, there we go. Yeah, it's still not quite, it's not quite where it was, but yeah, I think we'll be able to fix it. Okay. Better. Okay, I think we're bringing it back. Whew. Man, a little mini crisis right there. Yikes. Okay, now these wrinkles on the other side, I'm going to highlight those. Here we go. Okay. Got them. Get those ridges. Those are probably going to be some kind of non-metallic metal, but we won't worry about that. Now, oh, good gravy. All right, so we're going to do a little bit of a glaze under the eye. So this is going to be just our pure Prussian blue. And I like to take it from the outside to the inside, like this. Try to catch just underneath the eye. And this is going to take a couple times for this to show up. So don't have too much water on your brush either. That's something that I've done this before, and the water pools up in the corner of the socket. You don't really realize it because down in there, you know, the bead will collect. And then you'll go back with another color, and then all of a sudden you'll like kind of puncture the bead, and then it'll just go, and it'll flow out over the socket, and then yeah, that's always frustrating. Okay, get up in there again, and then likewise on the other side. Okay, so that's pretty much the color zones established. I'm gonna have to, I guess I'm gonna take some of my base tone, maybe mix it with a tiny bit of the Sunny Skin tone to sort of mellow out that red along the temple there. Grab a little bit of that, bring it over, there we go. I'm just gonna gradually work it back. The other day I was, you know, I did the other skin tutorial, and like people were like, man, 30 or 40 minutes for that? And I don't know, compared to the way how it used to take me to paint heads, that doesn't seem like a lot of time to me. I don't know. But maybe other people just kind of want to put some skin on it and then put a wash on it, which you don't really need to see a video to learn how to do that, I wouldn't think. And really, like I said, there hasn't been that much criticism, or at least in the negative direction. But there has been some, which is fine. I like that. I mean, I finally started getting some downvotes. I mean, now we're talking. Now people are getting emotional. That's what we're looking for. I don't want people to feel ambivalent when they watch one of the videos. I want them to be like, man, that's great. Or, oh, gosh. So mad at him for painting these men. He's probably mad because I'm keeping it out of the friggin' frame. Okay. So the rest of it is going to be more of that, more of kind of bringing these areas back into line. I'm most likely not going to do I think for the teeth, what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab mostly white, maybe a little bit of the sunny skin tone. Sunny skin tone. And then just hit those little teethies in there. So, let's see. Does he have individual chompers? Yeah, he does. So I'm probably gonna... already missed. Yeah, I'm gonna need to hold that close to my face, but we'll try. We'll try. Ooh. This grill is busted. Yikes. Okay. Yeah, so it's gonna need a little tweaking. Just saying. I'm not gonna leave my man like that. He's kinda like me. His teeth are a work in progress. And look at that. So I'm gonna get a bit more of my desaturated color for the lips. Do the top of the lip. Kind of bring that little split out. And then maybe I'll show how I would do stubble. And then I think we'll wrap this baby up. And I'll just touch it up and then show what I got at the end. Okay, so now for stubble, we want, pretty much, let's see, blue plus, what are we gonna do to desaturate the blue? I've got red, we could try red. Ooh, it's more of a lavender. I think a little bit of the green. Okay. What's important about whatever color you choose, usually blue or brown, dark blue or dark brown, and be very sparing with the black. I say that from personal experience. I've gone a little bit too hard with the black, and then what happens is that he just looks like he's got like kind of gross black smudges, or even worse, it just looks like he has black paint on his face. So one of the things that you need to also keep in mind is that you want to incorporate your skin color, your skin tone in there, and that's going to kind of keep it in balance. And if things get a little bit too, just a little bit out of scale or just don't look quite right, you can always glaze over with the skin color and sort of kind of recover it a little. So again, I'll just, do a little bit of, just kind of dabbing in some of my dark mix. And you may want to do a couple layers of this and a couple glazes of the skin color glaze. And what that'll do is, excuse me, it'll kind of, it'll make it look hopefully like the hair is coming out from pores under the skin. And you may not see it, well, you're definitely not going to see it from tabletop distance, but if you're interested in like painting something maybe for closer inspection, then it will sort of seem a little bit more like real hair as opposed to fake painted hair. Which, I hate on people that need to paint their beards in, but we want a real beard. Okay. So this beard's looking a little spotty. So what we'll do is we'll get maybe a bit of our desaturated color. So that would be our base skin tone mix, which is a mix of Cadian Flesh with just a tip of green ink. I know I've said that about 1,000 times now. And then dark Prussian blue. And I'm going to need more skin tone because mine is too dark. And then I will just get a thin glaze of it. That's still too blue. Yeah, that's more fleshy. I like that better. There's the glaze to kind of restore the skin tone. And just make sure it's nice and watered down. And then make sure you get back in the camera. And that's also what we do for up on the head right there too, when we want to draw on the stubble. We're going to do the same process. So now I've got my glaze. And then we'll apply it back to these areas where we applied a little bit of the stubble. We can do this 2 or 3 times, and this is going to kind of give us a little bit of a stubbly look. Hopefully, right? Hopefully. And as things change, as our requirements change, if we need to. So, it's glaze number 1. His looking a little stubbly. And we can do that again to the top of the head. If we want it up here in this region. Up here. And I will. I'm just not going to do it during this demonstration. We're pushing, my counter says 45 minutes, so hopefully there's some stuff I can cut, because that's just way too long. Alright, so that's about it. I'm going to do some touch-ups, and then that'll probably be it. Let me see, was there anything else I wanted to cover? No, I think that's it. I think that's good for now. Well, that nose, yeah, I'm going to have to rework the bridge of the nose. Did the eye glaze. Yep, that's about it. Alright guys, thanks for watching. It's Carlos, and I'll show you the finished result, and I hope that you guys found something of value in this video. Thanks again. Hey guys, this is the finished product. I spent some time working on the hair, and also I painted his whatever that thing is, command helmet, and I painted the hair, and then I kind of redid the hair. It didn't quite go according to plan. So thanks for watching, and I hope you guys learned something. And I'll see you in the next part of the Blood Angel tutorial.